For a bouncy pumpkin animation, I start drawing just with a basic pumpkin shape. On the next frame, I make the pumpkin be squashed down in anticipation. Then I draw it stretching up taller. This is going to be a 4-frame animation, so I draw an in-between between the third and first frame. This is the animation so far. I think it's looking pretty good. Now let's start adding some colors and details to the pumpkin. Because the pumpkin changes shape on every frame, it's okay if I just eyeball all of these highlight areas. Getting it close is fine. Consistency from frame to frame isn't too important. I add a stem and I try to make it have some overlap and follow through. When the pumpkin moves down, the stem lags behind. However, I don't really have enough frames for proper follow through, so this will probably be good enough. Now it's time to carve the face into our pumpkin on a new layer. I draw the face on the left side of the pumpkin as if we're viewing his face from a 3/4 angle. When I put this sprite in a game, I'll be able to flip it horizontally and make it look like he's bouncing left or right. I eyeball the first 3 face frames, and then for the 4th frame, I turn off my pumpkin layer so I can do a proper in-between between the 3rd and 1st frames. Once the face is looking pretty good, I fill it in with yellow so it looks like there's a candle in there. The animation's looking good. I just want to add a few more dark lines to the bottom of the pumpkin to give it a tiny bit of shadow. Now that the animation is finished, I export the 4 frames on one sprite sheet. I import the sprite sheet into Godot and test out how the animation looks in my game. Since I don't have a game created for my pumpkin animation yet, I try it out in a game I made earlier this year. Here's what that bouncing animation looks like when it's chasing the player and wandering around the level. The pumpkin sprite flips to face the player wherever he is at on the screen. Overall, this is a very basic animation and a simple setup, but you might get away with it if this is just one of dozens of monsters bouncing around on the screen. Be sure to check out my channel if you want to see more of my game animations. I've even made some games with claymation and even puppets.